What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Trash Man MMA, man. I usually don't make these fight card recaps videos the night of. I usually wait till the previous day, as I got work in the morning at 6 a.m. So it's a little tough for me to make them at night, but we're gonna get into it anyways, dude. I feel like this is a card that a lot of people want to see and talk about. So 319 Dricus du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev just wraps up. Well, we all know what happened, man. In the a crazy, a card that performed well enough. To be honest, it performed well enough. Uh, oh shit! Hold on, I didn't even click on that thing. Khamzat Chimaev ragdolls Dricus du Plessis. Lerone Murphy slumps Pico. Prates slumps Neil. Biggest fraud in the UFC. And there's more to talk about, man. So we're going to start from the bottom to the top. We're going to start with the early prelim opener of Alibi Idris versus Joseph Morales. Now, I picked Alibi Idris. And I was, hey, only prime fucking King Bond can sleep Joseph Morales when he's 22, 23 years old, man. What? Hey, David Figueiredo's resume is aging pretty well now. But in all due time, man, uh, Alibi Idris just didn't have the grappling factor. Joseph Morales was always one step ahead, and not even one step ahead, man. He was honestly 2, 3 steps ahead of everything Alibi Idris was doing. He was always in the next position. He was always just, it was never a stalemate moment. We'll get to the main event later. It was never a stalemate moment. It was always progression, progression, progression. And it got to a point where, although I want to say in the first round, Alibi Idris was doing a great job at investing in the body. He was sending shots down there. He was changing levels, shooting jabs to the body, cheap kicks to the body. A lot of knees as well in the clinch to Joseph Morales' body, and I thought they were going to eventually break him. I thought they were going to slow down his grappling. I thought they were going to slow his performance overall for Alibi Idris to eventually catch him with some few shots upstairs. Uh, but it never got to that round, man. As soon as the second round started, I'm telling you, Alibi Idris, Michael Chandler mode. I'm about to make myself retarded. And he just started, hey, let me throw like 18 spinning elbows in a row. My brother, you're not Lerone Murphy. You're not Carlos Prates guy. You're Alibi Idris, a fucking tough fighter. All right, man. So Joseph Morales was hip to it. He was honestly never even in range for to get attacked by that spinning elbow. I think maybe he got clipped once by spinning back fist. But as soon as the second round started, man, like I'm saying, Alibi just looked absolutely lost on the feet. Just absolutely lost. Morales was always one step ahead in anything that they were doing. And it got to the point where I forgot how Joseph Morales got him down, but they were in a grappling exchange. Joseph Morales locks up that triangle in the second, and, that was that. Alibi Idris taps. Kazakhstan, you got one good one. You got one good one, and then you got Alibi Idirius. So, good job for Joseph Morales. Gets it done in the second round. I get my pick wrong. 0-1 right now. Second fight of the night. Karine Silva versus Diana Barboza. Yeah, man. Honestly, I don't get too tired of the judges. I think people overreact when they talk about how shitty the judges are, or not judges, the commentators are. But I kind of understand it at times. I really do think Karine Silva won the second and third. I honestly really do. Diana Barboza for sure didn't win the second round, but live, I thought Karine Silva did enough to win the second and third. Yeah, you can make an argument for Diana Barbosa for the second for sure, but I thought Karine Silva took it personally. If you had Barbosa to win this fight, I would understand why you're upset. I do think she's the overall better fighter. She took this fight on a few days' notice. I think you could give her a full camp or even a fucking week, give her a week and a half. I think she beats Karine Silva easy. I don't think Karine Silva's all that. I don't understand how she's ranked. She looked fucking dog shit out there. She looks retarded. Diana Barboza is just, in my opinion, she's just better. So, in the first round, I had it 16 15 in favor of Barboza. Barboza got a slam, a takedown as well. She got like a takedown, picked her up, then slammed her. It was pretty impressive. And then once she slammed her, she actually had some pretty crazy grappling exchanges in this first. I know none of you guys really give a fuck about Silva or Barboza, but I actually want to talk about this a little bit because it was actually a pretty sick grappling exchange. Barboza, after the slam, she went for a face crank, transitioned into a crucifix, and then from the crucifix went to an armbar. And this was all within the span. This didn't span over 5 minutes. This spanned like 5-10 seconds. This was face crank, don't got it. Crucifix, alright, she gonna work out of it. Armbar. It was just so impressive, man. I thought it was a clear round for Barboza, but starting the second round, Silva gets a takedown. Barboza kind of just stands up immediately. Just kind of is able to, break the hands a little bit, get up to her feet. Triggers. Gets a sweep. Silva starts setting up whatever fucking Joe Rogan was talking about, that fucking double arm in fucking triangle. She doesn't have it though. And that's about all that happened in that third round, or in that second round. In the third round, Silva guillotine attempt pretty early on, gets a lot of back control. And honestly, it was just a lot of back control. It was a lot of that. Yeah, it was a lot of that, just back control for that third round. Or from what I can remember. Sorry for the yawn. From what I can remember, it was just a lot of back control with maybe a few sub attempts. What do we see? Yeah, 2 sub attempts in favor of Karine Silva, but that was about it. Karine Silva just held on to a body triangle for like the remaining of the round as it was ending, which was very bad IQ from her, because it just allowed her to stay on bottom without progressing in any way, shape, or form. With Diana Barboza kind of just like raining down tippy tap shots on her, which kind of allowed for people to think that Diana Barboza was winning that third round. So I didn't think it was a robbery. If you think it's a robbery, I'm not gonna scream and shout at you, but I don't think it's a robbery. I think it's just a close fight. Not all close fights are robbery, but yeah, it was close, man. It was close. On to the next fight. Edson Barboza versus Jakar Close. Man, I'm surprised Edson Barboza didn't put down the gloves. I don't want to see him fight anymore, dude. Unlike a lot of people, man, I don't have severe, like, Edson Barboza glaze in my jeans. I don't really... I hate to say it, man. I don't mean to casual max, but I don't really give a shit about Edson Barboza whatsoever. I really fucking don't. I honestly, I really don't fucking care about Edson Barboza right now. His prime is way past. It's kind of like watching a Tony Ferguson out there. I just don't care to really watch him get himself beat up for 15 minutes anymore. He got 50-45 by Lerone Murphy. I guess that aged fucking amazingly. And now he just got 30-27 by Jakar Close. First round, Jakar Close, honestly, a whole bunch of these, like this fight, I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't really give a shit about this fight. I don't really fucking care about either of these fighters. Jakar Close, though, hurt him with the left hand in the first round. Barboza looking really slow. Jakar Close is actually landing some, like, Edson Barboza fucking wheel kicks on Edson Barboza. And I don't think Edson Barboza threw one signature spinning wheel kick. Second round, though, Close landed a spinning wheel kick, kind of flush, low-key. There were some jabs from Barboza that were, kind of landing here and there. He wasn't doing it. He was kind of doing his thing. Jakar Close was doing this thing where he would kind of just, like, run at him, and he kind of just looked like a tard. He kind of just looked like a tard, like, wanted to give you an aggressive hug. And he would just kind of, like, a bum rush fucking Barboza, press him up against the fence. Jakar Close was kind of just, there was a point in the second round where Jakar Close hit him with a nasty 3-piece combo. Almost put Edson Barboza out, honestly. He had like I forgot what, it was kind of just like a left, right, left. And that second left almost put Barboza out, almost dropped him. And it was kind of just a very gritty performance from Close. Really faded on Barboza, very obviously. And, it was just a clubbing shot fest from Barboza. In the third round, there was a lot of there was actually Edson Barboza was kind of engaging in the clinch in the third round more than Close was. But at that point in that third round, man, it was just Edson Barboza was just an old man. He was just kind of an old man out there. Like, it looked like he needed a cane. It looked like he was drunk driving, man, in the octagon. He was kind of just like shaking. It looked like he had the jitters out there, man. Drakkar Klose was just sharp. There was nice right hands down the middle that just Barboza was not seeing whatsoever. Uh, yeah, Barboza should retire, man. I don't really see anything else from in the UFC, man. Maybe just more matchups like the one he's been getting earlier. Maybe, I don't know, you give him a fucking Chase Hooper, since Chase Hooper likes to beat up old men. Maybe you give him a Chase Hooper. Uh, but I think Edson Barboza should retire. And Drakkar Klose got some thud on him, all right? He got some serious fucking thud. On to the next, though. Uh, Chase Hooper. Speaking of which, Chase Hooper versus Alexander Hernandez. Yeah, bro. I kind of, like I said, man. This was gonna be the last time I ever picked Chase Hooper because I don't think he's that good. Uh, and he proved that I should have done that sooner. He gets knocked out with 2 seconds left to go in the first round, brutally, might I add. Uh, all I have in my notes is fuck Hooper. All I have in my notes is fuck Hooper. He looked really bad on the feet. He didn't look that bad on the feet. My notes are over exaggerated. He didn't look that bad. He had some very nice slick counters. And honestly, on the feet, though, they were doing pretty good. They were kind of going strike for strike and blow for blow. They were both landing very good counters on each other. Whoever went first, they would pull back, slapping left hand or slapping right hand. And it's honestly very entertaining to watch this first round. There were some very slick counters from both fighters. But just for the life of Chase Hooper, he could not take down Hernandez. He would kind of Khamzat max, but his shots just looked awful. He wouldn't get, like, his hips would be so fucking high, and he'd kind of be like shooting with his head below his hips. Which you're never going to get a shot like that. He would just go in super recklessly, and within the final 5 seconds, I don't know why he was pressuring so much, but he was pressuring, and he just gets caught with the, what was it, dude? It was just so clean. It was just like, was it just like a left, right, left? It was kind of just like hook maxing from Hernandez. Drops Hooper, kind of bad, and Hooper looks like he kind of wants to go to his pull guard, but he doesn't. He kind of just slumps to his knees immediately. Still looking for that, I don't know, single leg or whatever, and Hernandez just pushes his head into the mat. Bop, bop, bop. Two more shots, side of the head, and that's game. Chase Hooper falls back to his back to try and pull guard, I guess, and fight's over. 2 seconds left. Hernandez knocks out Chase Hooper. It's sad, man. It's sad, but it's not too sad because I kind of fell over the hype of Chase Hooper, you know? I was on the hype for a little bit. And then I saw Terrence McKinney do Vyacheslav Borshev in one round. And I saw Chase Hooper take him to the third and then beat Clay Guida cool. And then fucking take Jim Miller to, a decision. So, Chase Hooper gets done up. He gets done up by Hernandez. Good job for Hernandez, though, man. Can't wait to see what's up next for him. On to the next. Jessica Andrade versus Lupe Godinez. I predicted a... You've already blocked 55 ads. All right. Jessica Andrade versus Lupe Godinez. This was honestly a fairly entertaining fight, to be honest. This is fairly entertaining. I had Lupe Godinez up a lot. Yeah, 40-18. I had it very similar. I had Lupe Godinez landing like 5 times as many strikes as fucking Jessica Andrade, man. I kind of predict this to be a Alexa Grasso versus that other Brazilian girl that she just fought, not Marina Rodriguez, but that other Brazilian girl she just fought, where Alexa Grasso kind of just got tit for tatted at range for 15 minutes and then was just throwing big overhands. And that's kind of what this was for the most part. Lupe Godinez doing a good job mixing it up. Just mixing it up well in the first round. Just shots. Honestly, nothing really stood out all too much, but I do know she outperformed her by a lot in that first round. Second round, the rounds got gradually more, uh, not tighter, but competitive. It was definitely a closer second round than it was the first. Both were landing good shots, and this was kind of the turning point where you could see Andrade was hitting just clearly harder than Godinez. Godinez would hit a lot more and was a lot more active, but still the thud of Andrade was very noticeable. Her moving down from 125 to 115 is very noticeable. Uh, and Andrade was doing a good job at fucking uh, takedown defense. I believe in the second round she was like 6 and 7 for 6-7 for defending takedowns, 6 out of 7. So she was doing a pretty good job. And towards the end of the second, you could tell Godinez was slowing down. And then in that third, man, you could just see Godinez was close to breaking at times. If Andrade was pressuring a little bit more, or just a little bit more heavy and hectic with it, you could tell that she would have maybe could have pulled off a third round finish comeback. Andrade was just on the gas the entire third round. Would not let Godinez off. Just winging shots from the hip, eating the cleanest shots from Lupe Godinez. And Lupe was landing great shots in the third, too. Don't get it twisted. But there were some big overhands. I think there was a big overhand from Andrade at like the 2-minute mark left in the third round that Godinez kind of just ate. And it was impressive to see Lupe Godinez not wilt. I feel like anytime we see a WMMA fighter go up against another WMMA fighter with thud, you kind of just see them wilt. So it was very good to see Lupe Godinez not wilting to a fighter who's heavier than her and very clearly hits harder. So good chin on Lupe Godinez. Gets a takedown at the end of the third to kind of save her a little bit, but it was a 29-28 Lupe Godinez pretty clearly. And on to the next. Jared Meerschaert versus Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. Mikhail Oleksiejczuk knocks out Gerald Meerschaert in the first round. I thought Jared Meerschaert would be able to kind of I just thought Jared Meerschaert would be able to get it done, man. I saw Mikhail Oleksiejczuk get fucking done up by Kevin Holland, bro. I saw Kevin Holland break this kid's arm. You know what I mean? I just thought Gerald Meerschaert had been training head movement for the past 20 years. I thought he, wouldn't get tagged up so much. But it was kind of just a double left hand from Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. It was like a right and then a left and then a follow-up left from Mikhail that drops Meerschaert. There's that second left. And then from there, he drops him, and it was kind of just like sloppy ground and pound after that. Jared Meerschaert trying to work, but Mikhail, ground and pound. Not the best looking, but not the hardest looking either, but effective enough to get the ref in and stop it. And sad for Meerschaert, man. Sad pick to lose. I thought Jared Meerschaert would have been able to get it done. He did lose to Brad Tavares, though, who did get slumped out cold by Bruno Silva. He did get dropped in the first round against RDR. But, man, I just thought he would have been able to... I just thought he would be able to get it done, man. Not going to lie. But I got that pick wrong. On to the headliner of the prelims. Baisangar versus Chimaev versus Eric Nolan. Hey, I started rooting for my countryman, bro. I was rooting. If you from America, bro, you was rooting for Eric Nolan for a little bit in that first round, dude. You were seeing him not get steamrolled in that first round. You were seeing him hold his ground and kind of low-key landing shots and hurting Baisangar like 2 different times in that first. You seen him win that first round, and that you started getting hype, man. You hopped on the Eric Nolan hype train for a little bit. I know you did, bro. That shit was hype. Seeing Nolan land good shots on the feet and bigger shots than Baisangar, might I add. Eric Nolan for sure won that first round. I thought he landed more and better. Had Sir resorting to grappling. I'm gonna just call him Sir. I had Sir resorting to fucking grappling and stuff, which wasn't a bad game plan by any means. He's a bigger guy. Eric Nolan coming up from 170 might have had you to 185 to fight on short notice by Sangur. So give Eric Nolan this fight at 170, or give Eric Nolan a decent fight at 170 full count. Boy puts in work because he really gave Baisanger a run for his money, but I don't think Baisanger is all that, to be honest. So we'll get into that right now. Uh, Sir kind of sunk to the floor. Uh, at the end of round one, because Eric Nolan eats a big head kick in the final probably 20 seconds, and then he fires right back with a nasty right hand, kind of on the temple, and makes Baisanger kind of do that like Bobby Green jelly leg roll, where he kind of like his knee goes stiff when he's standing, so it makes him look funny. He goes all like uh, fucking, his legs go all fucking wonky. Um, Sinks to the floor in his corner. They don't put the chair underneath him. And then this second round, Nolan, I don't know what happened, bro. I guess Baisanger threw a kick to Eric Nolan's knee, and that hurt his knee. And I was watching MMA Guru live, and MMA Guru kept coping and saying, why did he fake getting hurt to the knee? Not everything is a fucking fake, you dumbass. He just got hurt to the knee. He just got hurt to the knee. Now, it is very weird to see a professional MMA fighter literally grab the part of their body that's like hurting in the middle of a fight. That is odd, but it was a very clear, like, natural reaction. It was a very clear natural reaction from Eric Nolan. And then that just led to a grappling exchange, and then he just got caught with a face crank after that, and that was kind of the end of the story. Baisanger took him to the fence, caught him with that face crank, and Eric Nolan kind of knew. He was like, shit, bro, it's kind of the end of the line. I feel like he could have fought it a little bit more, a little bit better, but he didn't. I don't really blame him. He showed enough heart and grit, as it were. Uh, but even with this performance from Baisanger, that's 2 wins in a span of 4 days. I still don't think he's all that good. He has that high guard. I think he's very susceptible to the shots to the body, low kicks, maybe getting taken down himself. Even then, Eric Nolan was throwing up uppercuts and knees that weren't quite landing, just because of Baisanger's kind of just how much just bigger and physically opposing he is. Eric Nolan couldn't really get those knees up the middle and uppercuts really up all the way. I just don't think Baisanger is all that good, though. I don't really see him ever being top 15. I don't see Eric Nolan ever being top 15 at the welterweight division either, but maybe it is a little bit too early to speak. But just off of this performance for both of them, maybe not ranked, maybe not any rankings in the future for either of these guys, to be honest. So Baisanger gets it done by second round face crank submission. On to the next. Onto the main card, actually. Tim Elliott versus Kai Asakura. Yeah, biggest fraud in the UFC. Ryzen. Yeah, we got Yuri. We got the best one with Yuri, man. Y'all could take Kai back. We got Pantoja's free legacy, and maybe this affects Pantoja's legacy negatively because, hey, fucking, you did it. Guess who also did it? Tim Elliott. Second round submission. You know what I'm saying? Pantoja should have did it in the first. Pantoja should have did it in the first. Why is Pantoja doing it in the why is Elliott doing it in the second, just like the champ? Just saying, a little odd. But Tim Elliott, very odd style, very weird style, but still good shot selection from Asakura, even though Tim Elliott was doing all this like retarded, like moving hand and trying to be like MVP and fucking moving and oh, my hands are right here. Oh, look at me move my hands. Oh, look at me move my leg. Oh, look at me move my elbows. Wow. Kyle Sakura was still getting through it and landing some really big, powerful shots. Still, some shots I'm very surprised didn't drop Elliott. And I do truly believe I truly believe Steve Erceg doesn't eat more than half those shots. I don't know how many shots Asakura landed in the first. Let's see. 11 to 16. These are fraudulent numbers. These are completely fraudulent numbers, might I add you. Fraudulent as hell. But 9 out of those 11 shots that Kai landed, Steve Erceg just doesn't eat. He gets kind of just slept by him. But Tim Elliott was able to keep him. Maybe that beard on his fucking face gave him some extra cushion. He was able to eat all of them and keep it pushing. This is actually the last fight that I have notes for. Kaya Sakura gets subbed in the second round. Um, I think he goes for a guillotine himself at one point, doesn't get it, and then Elliot gets the guillotine of his own. Sorry, what the fuck? Why am I yawning so much? Gets the guillotine of his own and just, yeah, puts Kaya Sakura away in the second round, man. I mean, just, it is what it is. Kaya Sakura, the biggest fraud in the UFC. Just, wow. Tim Elliott wins second round submission. On to the next. Jared Cannonier versus MVP. Yeah, 29-28 MVP. Pretty clearly, Jared Cannonier very narrowly won that third round with just like laying and praying grappling. He's a big dude, you know, he's 5'11", 5'11" at 185, so he has a lot of extra mass, just muscle that he's able to put on. And the size discrepancy was so noticeable in this fight, man. MVP's fucking huge for welterweight. And honestly, this just makes Ian Gary's win over him look a lot better because at least I think Ian Gary's grappling win over MVP was a lot more, well, it was obviously a lot more impressive since he actually got the win, but his grappling just in and of itself was a lot more effective. So Ian Gary's win ages a little bit better. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a little bump up in his own ranking in the welterweight division, just because of this is MVP's win, so makes him look a little bit better. Jared Cannonier, man, he just kind of looks slow. Couldn't take down Michael MVP. Would never go for a single leg. Was only going for the double leg. And even then, he wasn't kind of even going for the double leg. He would kind of just like grab the rib cage of MVP and kind of like drag him to the floor, but which is very hard to do against a taller, lankier person. You would think it's easier, but it's actually a bit harder. They just have such a wide base with their legs, especially when they have like 4 inches of height on you, man. They're just so much harder to take down than you would expect. So Jared Cannonier was never able to get him down, never able to really collect too much control time, except for in that third one. Kind of MVP was kind of going for broke, and then Jared Cannonier just gets him down due to MVP's own mistakes. But even before that, in the first and second round, MVP just drops him twice with good. Did they not award him any knock? They didn't award MVP any knockdowns. He got 2. One in the first and one in the second. The first kind of did look like a slip, but the second one was a clear, just a 3-piece combo. Just like a right hook, right hook, or it was a left hook, right hook, left hook. That just kind of set Jared Cannonier kind of like falling over himself, rolling on the floor. He got back up immediately, but it was a very clear fell because I got hit, not because I tripped over my feet or something. Very impressive performance from MVP, man. I wonder what's next for him. Jared Cannonier's like 9th ranked, I think. He's in the top 10, man. So MVP with this ranking, he'll be in the top 15. He'll be like around the 15th spot in the welterweight division. So very interested in what MVP is going to have in store for him in the near future. He says he wants to answer Carlos Prates' call to fight in Sao Paulo, Brazil, in a few months, in October, I believe that is, on that Oliveira versus Fiziev card. He says he's down to answer Carlos Prates' call, go down to welterweight, and take that fight, which is we'll get into that in a little bit, man. We'll get into that into my fights to make video. Jeff Neal versus Carlos Prates. Man, what a scrap! I forgot. I think I predicted a second round KO for Carlos Prates. Excuse me, for Carlos Prates after a scrap in the first, and my gosh, was it a fucking scrap in that first. They were going at it. Towards the beginning of the fight, I had it a lot more evens. I had them going kind of blow for blow. Or not in the beginnings of the round, I had Carlos Prates leading a little bit. And then I believe I started counting strikes on my own around the 3.5 minute mark. 3.5 minutes left to go in that first round. And they were so neck and neck in shots. It was insane. Neil would land something and then he'd be up two, and then Carlos Prates would land a nasty combo. He'd be tied, and then he land an additional shot, be up one, land a shot to the body, land a crispy left hand across the face against Neil, and it was just consistently they were going back and forth, back and forth. Sometimes Neil would take the lead in significant strikes, sometimes Carlos Prates would, and they were just neck and neck, and it was honestly such a treat to watch. You could tell though at the end, towards the end, that's when Prates started to break away a little bit within that final minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes. Carlos Prates started to really, his shots were starting to really take a toll on Jeff Neal, and he was doing a good job at landing, just landing very cleanly, landing knees to the body, good shots upstairs, and then it got to a point where there was 5 seconds left. 3 seconds left, 2 seconds left, and Carlos Prates uncorks a never before seen spinning elbow right on the temple. And I mean, it's not tricep. It was point of the elbow all day, right on the temple of Jeff Neal. Sets him down badly and out cold. I don't even think Carlos Prates follows up. I think he just walks away knowing what he did, knowing what a victim he made Jeff Neal. Absolutely brutalized him in that first round. Highlight reel for Carlos Prates in his post-fight speech. He calls out Leon Edwards to fight in Brazil, which I like that matchup, but kind of very scary for him as well. Leon Edwards is a tall, lanky striker like an Ian Gary. He's a technical mastermind, so I think Leon Edwards can actually give him a lot of trouble. I think MVP gives Carlos Prates a lot of trouble as well. Just how fucking tall and long MVP is, man. I don't want to see MVP in any high level matchups, man. That motherfucker's boring as hell. But highlight real KO for the ages for Carlos Prates over Jeff Neal. Moves up one spot in the rankings. Jeff Neal was ranked 11. Carlos Prates was 12. So he gets a bump up. Shit, Ian Gary might move up 2 spots, you know. Ian Gary might move up 2 spots, and I wouldn't be surprised if you go to Ian Gary's Twitter or Instagram and he says, "So glad to see my sons win," or some shit like that. On to the co-main event, though. Dricus du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev, man. What? Lerone Murphy versus Aaron Pico. I mean, Aaron Pico. Your time has come. You're getting sent back to the Bellator, buddy. There's no running from this one, man. Lerone Murphy pulls out a never-before-seen spinning elbow KO in the first round, much like Carlos Prates. Almost he does it sooner, and dare I say more impressively, actually shuts out Aaron Pico out consistently. Not consistently, clearly. Jeff Neal was out, but he was like coherent in a way. He was aware of he looked like he was aware of where he was at. Aaron Pico got shut out. He was biting on his mouthpiece so hard they had to yank it out so like he didn't choke on his own tongue or something. It was honestly one of the nastiest KOs I've ever seen, at least spinning back fist KOs I've ever seen, because Aaron Pico, he like lunged into it. This entire time Aaron Pico was pressure. And he was landing a lot of good shots to the body of Lerone Murphy. He landed like 2 left hooks to the body, and it looked like Lerone Murphy started crumpling a little bit. He started like, ugh. He was like really felt it in his gut. And I really got scared for Lerone Murphy. I was like, bro, what are you doing right now? Don't sell. I was so super scared for Lerone Murphy in this first round. Aaron Pico is consistently on the pressure. He got down Lerone Murphy, I think, twice. I was about to say he got him down about twice. What was this sub attempt from? Oh, it was a guillotine from Lerone Murphy. He got a guillotine attempt. Aaron Pico kind of popped his head out immediately. Lerone Murphy was way too high on it. If you just saw like everybody around me kind of got hyped, but he kind of just lost it. You know, it was never gonna be there. But Lerone Murphy at least had a sub attempt. Surprised on the significant strikes, 8-13. I don't remember Pico landing that much, but I guess that was primarily from the earlier moments of the round when he was pressuring so hard. But Murphy started kind of, taking notice. Aaron Pico kind of started dipping his head down to the same spot consistently over and over. And you see he fakes a takedown, but he fakes it and he kind of commits to it a little bit. He like has his hands not by his head. He kind of like, I'm gonna take you down. Oh, just kidding. Well, I mean, I might take you down. And that's when Lerone Murphy just uncorks. Right, right elbow right on the forehead and chin of Murphy. Sets him out cold. Follow-up shot from Lerone Murphy. Walks off KO. Jumps on the fence, and Aaron Pico is stiffed out cold. His feet go straight. He's looking straight up into the sky. He's biting as hard as he can on his mouthpiece. Just unconscious, lights out. Look, bedtime MMA. How many times do we need to see somebody from Bellator get absolutely done in their first fight in the UFC before you finally stop picking these Bellator fighters? Not even bedtime, man. Anybody who picked Pico, man, like, what are you doing? Lerone Murphy is 16-0, 8-0 in the UFC, now 9-0 with a brutal highlight finish over your boy. Like, this isn't what's Pico's record? Like fucking 15-3 in the regional scene, 15-4. Nah, bruh, this is Lerone Murphy 17-0 in the UFC. This is Lerone Murphy 9-0 in the UFC, unbeaten streak. One of the highest win streaks in the UFC as we speak right now. Like, Aaron Pico was never gonna win this, but he was looking pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, he wasn't looking bad. Don't mean to shit on him too much, but he wasn't looking bad. But I mean, I was always gonna pick Lerone Murphy 10 out of 10 times. I would have always picked Lerone Murphy, and he gets it done by highlight reel KO. Free legacy for Volk might have had. Hold on, let's stay on this a little bit longer. Free legacy for Volk, quite literally the freest legacy I've ever seen. Movsar Evloev just having to watch Lerone Murphy steal his title shot must feel devastating, because Lerone Murphy now matched wins for Evloev. They both have 9, and Lerone Murphy, from the last time I checked, he has a lot more finishes. Probably not even a lot more. He probably has like 2, maybe 3 finishes in the UFC. Hey, bro, that's 2, 3 more than fucking Movsar Evloev has, and he just had one of the best KOs on the card and in recent memory over somebody who was extremely hyped up. Somebody who everybody was talking about. Oh, this guy trains with Khamzat. This guy trains with the Russians. Out cold, bruh. Done up. My boy, done up. Gonna be playing Central C at work all day tomorrow. On to the main event, though. Dricus du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. Yeah. Hold on. Let me drink some water before I even start talking about this fight, man. This is just so sad. This is just so sad, man. Let me just drink some water real quick, dude, before I cry. Khamzat Chimaev ragdolls Dricus du Plessis for 5 rounds straight, and there's not even much to get into it. They say Dricus du Plessis landed 13 significant strikes. I don't believe it. I saw he got. Well, I checked after the fight. They said he had 3, and Khamzat had 23. I'm more in favor to believe those. But yeah, the significant strike total, I can believe it. 45 to 529. If that just doesn't speak to the activity of Khamzat in these positions, Khamzat Chimaev got him in a crucifix, I believe, in the first, third, fourth, and fifth. Those were all rounds where Khamzat Chimaev got him in a crucifix. You could probably tell by oh my gosh, the significant strikes, man. So Dricus du Plessis lands 0 significant strikes in the first, 0 in the second, 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and 10 in the third, or 10 in the fifth. 2 rounds where he doesn't land a single significant strike. 4 rounds where he doesn't land double-digit significant strikes, which is kind of crazy, seeing as the amount of like output that he has in his recent fights. But I mean, there's really not much to go over here, man. Dricus du Plessis gets taken down, refuses to get back up, refuses to even try to get back up, refuses to fight hands, uh, just doesn't do anything explosive. I can understand why you wouldn't do anything explosive in the first and second, but in the third and fourth, that's where the explosivity and the the energy reserves have to be kind of not depleted, but it's go broke or go home. This is not the time to be saving energy for the fourth and fifth. My boy, you just got 10-8'd in the first. In my opinion, the first should be a 10-8. Every judge gave Khamzat a 10-8 in the third. I believe the first is just as dominant as the third. I mean, like I saw the first being a 10-8 more than the third, but I mean, well, I see a great argument for them both. I think the scorecard should be 50-43, 50-42, something like that. I think 50-43. Every judge, though, was in decision that the third round was a 10-8, giving Khamzat a 50-44. Dricus du Plessis couldn't get back to his feet in the first, couldn't get back to his feet in the second. And then the third actually took Khamzat a little bit longer to shoot. I want to say maybe around 15 seconds this time. Still gets him down. Still gets him in a crucifix, and kind of just rains down shots. I'm glad they didn't stop it anytime we're in the crucifix, because we're in that position a lot. So I'm glad Mark Goddard didn't stop it, which I'm kind of surprised he didn't. But they were all little tippy-tappy shots. I feel like Khamzat could have gotten him out of there. You get the crucifix 4 times and like rain down elbows, even if they're not precisely on where even if they're not landing exactly where you want them to land, still throw them. Because when you would see the ref come into the camera angle. With all those tippy tappy shots, you would never see the ref come into the view of the camera. But once Khamzat Chimaev started landing those elbows, I believe in that fourth and maybe fifth round, probably fourth, that's when you seen the ref like, hey, shit, hey, Dricus, you better move, buddy, you better move. So even if they weren't landing that clearly, just the visuals of an elbow are much more dangerous than a tippy tap shot. And then the fifth round, this is where the main body of Dricus du Plessis' work lies. Gets a takedown of his own. He has a sub attempt of his own. He actually goes for a. How does this work? Because he goes for a guillotine at some point in time. That might have been in the fourth. Maybe that was in the fourth, but he goes for a guillotine. No, that was in the fifth. He goes for a guillotine, ends up on his back, gets back to his feet. They get back to their feet, and then they go back to the ground again. That's later, but all I really want to say is Dricus du Plessis pulled a guillotine on Khamzat Chimaev in the fifth round. He deadass. He felt what was Khamzat's neck in that fifth, and he said, "You know what? I've been on the bottom for 22 minutes. You know what I'm gonna do?" And he looked at Dana White and he said, "Hey, Dana, watch this. Shine bright like a diamond." I bet that's what was going on in fucking Dricus du Plessis' head when he pulled that shine bright in a beautiful sea. You know what I'm saying? I bet he was going crazy in his head. But he doesn't get it. He gets mounted again, because of course he does. And then late into the fifth round, I believe 30 seconds left in the fifth round, Dricus du Plessis has Khamzat Chimaev's back. Gets a face crank, almost has it fully in, and it looks like it's so locked in. I jump up, I'm to my feet, bro. I say, bro, let me find out you gonna get this comeback submission. He doesn't get it. He falls off to the side of Dricus. He falls off to the side of Khamzat, and Khamzat they just kind of like wait it out, and that's how Dricus du Plessis' title reign comes to an end, with him watching Khamzat Chimaev just looking at the back of his head, posting up with his right hand on the floor when he could be fishing for a submission attempt or just punching. We go to the bell's done, but I guess we don't even get started, by the time the bell rings for the fifth and final time. So Dricus du Plessis title reign comes to an end by getting 50-44 by Khamzat Chimaev, who puts on an absolutely dominating clinic performance. I'm so excited to get one title fight every year now. Genuinely, he fought once in 2025, once in 2024, once in 2023, once in 2022. I think the last time he fought twice in 1 year was against was in 2020 or 2021. The last time he fought multiple times or more than once in a year. So excited to see Khamzat pull out of his next fight. And you know what they always, you know how they always test how for the. I believe they told JDM this, they told Bilal this. Dana was like, "Hey, if you pull out of this fight, we're gonna strip you of your belt." I can't wait for them to tell Khamzat that, because like they're definitely gonna tell him that, right? It's not like he has special privilege or anything. It's not like he has special Dagestani fucking nut hugger privilege that he's gonna get fucking not told that, even though he's pulled out of so many fights. Um, I'm glad to have a dominant champion like Khamzat. Don't get me wrong, but it's just the purely like I'm not too hype on a champion fighting once a year. But I was talking to my friend about this, and I actually agree with him on this point. Shout out to my homie. He brought up the point where he said he doesn't believe that Khamzat Chimaev is going to be around for long. And I can very much agree with that. I think he's going to be getting these pay-per-view points. He's going to get this massive amount of money, more than he's ever seen in his entire life. And he's going to get one, maybe two more title defenses in. And I think he's going to call it quits. He doesn't seem like a guy who wants to be here until he's 30, 36, 38. You know, he's going to retire very soon. And he's already 31. I want to say he's 31. Hold on, let's check this. Because we can really kind of predict how the rest of his career is going to go. So he's 31. So he's going to have two more fights by the time he's 33. And then, yeah, I can see him just stopping at the age of 33. I don't think he goes to 35. I think max we'll see three more title defenses. So maybe we'll have him until he's 34. But I think that's pushing it for Khamzat Chimaev. Just seeing how weak his immune system is. I don't think he's going to get to 35. I don't think he's going to get to 34. I think he's going to get to 33. With that being said, two more title defenses. Dricus du Plessis, you're not getting a rematch, buddy. I'm sorry. Unless you want to wait a whole year, go ahead. But I wouldn't recommend that. I would just recommend just fighting somebody else, getting a win, proving that you can grapple or something. I don't know, man. But that's it for the video, man. Sadly, this was the worst card I have. This was my worst performing card throughout the entire year. This is my first true time going negative. I went 5-7. I haven't gone negative on a card this entire year, minus that Gamrot and Ludovic Klein main event. I would have went 5-5 on that card, but I got stuck at 4-5 because Macy Barber pulled out. So I went 4-5 on that card, but I don't really count that. On this card, I truly went 5-7. So worst card of the year so far. Sorry to all the new people who tuned in to watch me do so bad, but I hope you guys will tune into my fights to make video that I will post tomorrow. So I'll be a little bit ahead of the curve. So thank you all for watching. Appreciate the love. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you're new, and hey, follow my Instagram, follow my Twitter, subscribe, man. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all. Later.